this morning for our latest Coffee with the Principal here at Black Mountain Middle School. I want to let you know that I am recording today's session because I want to make it available to families who couldn't be here and so they could hear our conversation today. So this session is being recorded and I wanted to make sure I told you that. Again, for those of us just joining us, our agenda is we're going to talk about 8th grade promotion and options for families. We're going to talk about a recognition ceremony at the end of the school year. And we're also going to talk about the big idea in our last meeting of the year in May. And again, my favorite part is hearing from you, questions, ideas, and concerns about those and other ideas if you have them. So let's get started. We are so excited for our end of the year celebrations. It feels like we're taking another step back or towards normalcy. Last week, Black Mountain, we hosted our first parent-student event. We have some incoming 6th grade families or new students to our academy, and we held a small open house. And it was really nice to have families and students back on campus, and it made me excited for our 8th grade promotion. And so for promotion, we're going to offer 2 options for families because it's important to me to really make sure that we make all families feel comfortable. We're going to have a virtual option because some families don't feel comfortable coming to a large gathering. And we're going to have an on-campus option for all 8th grade families for promotion this year. Our promotion is June 18th at 8:30 a.m. This information is being shared in my family communications. We need to know how many families would like to do the virtual option and how many families want to do the on-campus option. So we're going to send a survey. We have not sent the survey yet because we are trying to establish the maximum occupancy that we can have. Traditionally, we've held our promotion in our quad in the middle of our school. The quad is a beautiful space, but it's limited. And with just trying to get as much social distancing available, we decided to move our promotion this year to our small field behind our 10 building. It's quite a large field, but we say it's small because it's small in comparison to our upper field, which is 4 to 6 acres. It's huge. So this area is more accessible. Families can get to it easily. We can have some parking in the back of the school. We're going to have a stage. We're going to have seating for families. We have about 800 seats that will have our 8th graders and our families. We need to figure out how many people by law we're allowed to have in this space. And so we're working with our local fire department to determine maximum occupancy. Once we have that, we'll have families will have to RSVP who's coming. And right now, our guidelines from the county are only members of your immediate household can attend. So if we have a student who lives in a house, whoever lives in that house, they would be eligible to attend. And we got to figure out how many of those people can attend. Is it 2? Is it 3? So we're trying to figure that out. Once we have that, we will then send out a survey asking for families, do you want to do the virtual option or do you want to do the on-campus option? And so the on-campus option is going to look like a traditional promotion ceremony as much as possible. We're going to have our choir is going to sing the national anthem. We're so excited. Our orchestra is going to play. It's going to be great to hear students doing their thing and performing. We will recognize all students and they'll be able to come up on stage and receive their certificate. And then the district will then recognize the class of 2021 like we do in a traditional ceremony. Our virtual families will have a couple options. One is that they can come on campus a week ahead of time. June 11th on Friday, there'll be a picture opportunity for those virtual families that want to come and take a picture in the quad, have social distancing, not be around a large group of people on June 11th to take that picture, to have that moment to celebrate with family. And then we're going to have a virtual ceremony on YouTube. And so we're going to, like we did last year, and I shared in my family communications what that video looks like. And so we're going to do a version of that for our virtual families. Let me pause there and open up to any questions about promotion. We're going to have the on-campus, we're going to have the virtual, and you get to choose, and we're going to have a survey coming out soon. Questions, comments on promotion for this school year? Kirsten.
So just to be clear, there's not going to be the drive-by, right? It'll
Correct.
Either be the in-person on the field or the virtual?
Correct. We're not going to have the parade. We're trying to balance and make sure that we can we can plan events that we can take care of all of them. And so there's been, there's a lot of demand, a lot of interest in our community to have an on-campus promotion. And I think some people are ready for that type of event. And we're going to host it and do it safely. And so we're excited about planning that. So we're going to have the on-campus version will be like a traditional ceremony. We will not have a drive-through parade this year. Correct. Other questions, comments, ideas about 8th grade promotion? We'll talk about the 8th grade promotion signs in just a second. Nobody else has any questions or ideas? How many of you are 8th grade families? Do these options sound like they're fitting your needs? Are you happy about these options? Yes? Okay. Getting some thumbs up. I appreciate that. Every 8th grader today can get a 8th grade promotion sign that you can put on your lawn. And that's thanks to our Education Foundation, and we appreciate them so much. We're not having families purchase them. You don't have to order them. Every kid gets one. And so our on-campus kids will get their sign today at the end of the school day in their last class period. And our virtual families can come and Ms. Cordo, could you help me with the pickup times after school today? You're muted.
I know, I was on another screen. Yes, I think for the virtual, it's 2 to 3:15 today.
So our virtual families can drive through our parking lot from 2 to 3:15 today, and they'll pick up their sign also. So all 8th graders, we have a sign for everyone, and they can put it on their lawn, and they can display proudly that they are a promoting class of 2021 from Black Mountain Middle School. So those are those 8th grade signs. And again, thank you again to our foundation for providing those. I feel so much better about the idea that everybody gets one and we don't have to have families order them and worry about those things. As Ms. Cordo is saying, she's giving me a couple more details to share, which I really appreciate, Monique. We're also going to videotape our ceremony. And then later that day, we're going to post it on YouTube. So like, let's say grandma and grandpa can't attend because they're not part of your household or they're not part of the numbers, then they can still see the ceremony. And we're going to post that later during the day of June 18th. Okay. All right. We're also going to have a recognition ceremony. We're going to recognize some of our student groups like ASB and leadership and our school site council, our No Place for Hate ambassadors, our BMTV crew that do our morning announcements. We're going to recognize our Racial Justice Challenge top 10 winners. Ms. Cordo, can you tell me some other groups that we're going to be recognizing in our ceremony? I'm trying to think. I don't want to leave out any.
Thank you. Let's see. I think you covered most of them.
Let's see. Let me make sure. I'm gonna look up real quick and see if I can pull it up so I don't forget any groups. And we're also going to recognize our 3.5 and 4.0 students. We're going to do that by mailing home a certificate for those students so they can celebrate with their families and recognize their wonderful academic achievements. So we're going to send those home at the end of the school year after our final grades are posted. So again, groups that we're going to recognize: ASB, Leadership, AVID, the Racial Justice Challenge, Principals Cabinet, No Place for Hate ambassadors, our yearbook, our BMTV crew, and School Site Council. And so those families will get an invite to a YouTube Live. It'll be on, it'll be a virtual ceremony, recognition ceremony for our students and their families. And we're excited for that. That is June 9th. And so they'll get an invitation sent to them. Our last Big Idea meeting is May 25th. The Big Idea stands for Inclusion, Diversity, Equity, and Awareness. We've met every month this school year, and we've had a wonderful time coming together, coming up with an action plan to make our school a more inclusive place. And I appreciate all those who have been involved in the Big Idea. We're always looking for new members. So if you are interested in coming to that May 25th meeting, it's not too late. All you need to do is email me, and I'll put you on the list, and I'll send you an invite with that Zoom link. I'm going to put in the chat right now my email. If you don't have it, you can also find it on our school's webpage. I want to make sure I spell my own name right here. All right, so scorso@powayusd.com. If you're interested in being part of the Big Idea on May 25th or anytime, please email me, and we'll make sure you get the link It's always great. We like to say that the big idea, the bigger it is, the better it is. The more people that share in this work together. And I know we have some members of the big idea here today at Coffee with the Principal, and I appreciate them, and I appreciate all of you and your interest in this wonderful committee. All right, those are the things I wanted to share today. I'm now open to any questions, thoughts, ideas that you have that you would like to discuss here at Coffee with the Principal. Monica, good morning.
Good morning. I parked just in time. So the fifth graders last year, they weren't able to do that big like fifth grade trip on the boat or whatever. And then this year they're not able to do the summer, or not the summer camp, but the sixth grade camp.
Yeah, sixth grade camp.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just wondering if there is something special that we could do in seventh grade to make up for the fifth and sixth grade losses.
I'm writing down your idea because I understand that many times the highlight of the sixth grade year, some students say, is sixth grade camp and doing that. And so I don't know what the future of sixth grade camp is. You know, they're hoping to restart that up next year. But what about our kids that missed out on that opportunity? Is there something that we can do to help them, to provide an opportunity like that? And so, Monica, we're going to do some brainstorming to see if it's not sixth grade camp, is it something else that we can do that's special for them? So I love that idea. Thank you for bringing that up. And I'm going to bring it back to my leadership team and see what we can come up with. Do you have any ideas? Does anybody have any ideas or suggestions? I don't know if, you know, the sixth grade camp, it's really difficult for them to get in all the schools. Some schools are split and half the school goes 1 week and half the school goes another week because the scheduling is so difficult for sixth grade camp. I can't imagine they'd be able to take in all the sixth graders and all of next year's seventh graders and do the camp. So I don't know what the county can do with that. Are there other suggestions other than doing like a seventh grade camp next year for our next year seventh graders? I'm open to ideas.
What about like a very mini grad night where it's just like on campus?
So would it be like during their seventh grade year?
Probably. Yeah. I don't think we can do that now.
Yeah. I don't think we can do it now. Right? Yeah. We're not quite ready for that. Like promotion, we're going to get it right, but it's going to take a lot of work to get promotion to be safe with the present guidelines. Right. I was also thinking that perhaps we do like during sixth grade camp, we do an on-campus camp and we do some special activities. Maybe we do that with our seventh graders too. So we can provide it somewhat, you know, like something that's special for them during that week also because they missed out on sixth grade camp. Well, if anybody has any ideas for that, please send them my way. Maybe a special night like Monica's talking about. All right. I see another question in the chat. Do you have any information about summer school or who do we get more information from? Thanks. So we've been asking for that information also. And so I'm going to tell you everything I know, and then we're working on finding more information and I'll provide it in my parent communications, my family communications. So we do have a middle school summer school opportunity this summer. It is a POWA unified program. It's not going to be like Black Mountains summer school. It's going to be a district summer school. It's available to some 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. Who those students are is being determined. Like they really want to make sure that they help some students that are at risk, that have had a really difficult time academically, and provide that opportunity during the summer. It'll be housed at Meadowbrook Middle School. There are 2 sessions. I can provide the dates of those sessions, but I want to make sure I can give some more information in my family communication. So I'll provide those dates and a place where you can get more information when we have that. But I know that the idea is out there and it is going to happen. It's just a matter of who gets to attend and when is it going to happen and what is it going to look like. So I will also add that to my to-do list and get more information for summer school. It's a good question. I have some questions about that too. So we're going to get those answers. Thank you for your patience. All right. Minu, do you have a question?
Oh, for heaven's sake.
No worries. We're with you. You got it.
Sorry. You know how the 8th graders can they come during the summer camp, if at all, and help out the new 5th and 6th graders, like in math or like being, what is it, like teachers helpers, but they'll come in and help the new 6th graders and the 7th graders to prepare for like math or science or even art.
Are you talking about like summer school, like almost teacher assistants?
Yes.
I don't know.
Can the 8th graders, can we have that option open? Because we've got a great ASB team.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got great Black Mountain Middle School. There's such smart, intelligent kids. Very proud of everything and what the teachers have done, and you have done also, Mr. Corso. But I was just thinking maybe it'll be an encouragement for the 8th graders who are going to 9th grade to build that confidence that, hey, I know this material and I can maybe help another 6th, 7th grader. And then like Monica was asking, going by the guidelines, maybe we could do a sleepover at, I don't know, Black Mountain Middle School, bring that, we could bring the tents, bring a projector and have popcorn, whatever. So make it an overnight, but going by the guidelines, of course, to make it fun on school, on campus. But that's going to ask a lot also.
Yeah.
But that was my thought.
All right. Well, maybe we can do something like that. I think the overnight, like on a campus, might be difficult, but maybe you could have a night event with the movie and the popcorn and to be in our quad and they could share it together. I think we could hopefully create some sort of community event for our kiddos like that. So I think that's got some possibilities there. And then you also asked about TAs for summer school. Is it possible for students to volunteer their time to help out their fellow students, which I love. And so I got to check into that to see if that's a possibility. So I love great ideas. And I agree. We have some wonderful students, willing to help out their fellow students. And I really like that idea. So thank you, Minu. There was another question and I missed it. And I want to make sure I got to it. Grady in the chat asked, will there be another day to pick up their sign, the 8th grade, I believe the 8th grade promotion signs. And yeah, you could come to the front office on another day during our school hours and you could pick up the sign if you're not able to come in during that time. We do prefer if you could come this afternoon. It would be really helpful to get it done all at once, but we'll make it available at another time that you can come in. Kirsten, do you have another question?
Yeah, I do. Just kind of for clarification. So you talked about possibilities of things for this year's 6th graders next year when they're in 7th grade. And I love the idea of some sort of event at night with the movies or something like that. I'm assuming that that's all looking ahead towards next year, things that we would do for the students who are 6th graders this year for next year. And that at this point, it would really be difficult to try to do something for this year's 8th graders, kind of instead of, they typically do the 8th grade trip to DC, and to try to also figure out something that would take the place of that with so little time left in the school year and with the restrictions that are still in place, that's really not in the cards. Is that right?
So the 8th grade trip to DC, that's not associated with our school. Like we don't have any official, like we have some outside groups that take some students and they do some trips, but that's not part of our Black Mountain Middle School.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah, planning. But we do have some of our staff members who help with that, but it's not a Black Mountain official event. But we have asked the district for guidelines and what can we do for a community event this year right now. And right now, we can't get it done. We've tried for it. Our ASB would love to host like a movie drive-in night or something like that. And we can't, to follow the district guidelines right now, we can't get that done. And so we wanted to, but yes, Kirsten, we're looking at next year. Could we plan something special for our kiddos that missed out on this year? So I think that's what the group is kind of talking about. And we're going to continue to look at options for next year.
Sounds good.
All right. Other questions, you can put it in the chat. I'll try to look over to the chat if it's there, if you don't want to unmute yourself. But ideas, questions, concerns. What brought you here today?
I had a question just about because they just announced the 12 to 15-year-old vaccinations. And the city also announced you could host a vaccination site at work. So I'm wondering if you guys are looking into hosting vaccination sites at your school.
Yeah, it is exciting news that vaccinations are expanding, Evelyn. I have not heard any talk in our district about using a school site for a vaccination site. That has not been something that's been discussed, but if it does come about, I'll make sure I share that in our family communications. But that's an interesting idea. We hope we can get our families that want to be vaccinated as soon as possible, and we'll see if the district is open to something like that. So at this point in time, Evelyn, I've not heard any talk of that at a school site.
I just thought I'd throw the idea out there.
Thank you. Maybe it could be a PUSD like site where, people in our area that's closer. I know I went kind of far to get it, but then I went, about a month or so ago, and then my wife went to CVS right over here in Black Mountain and got done like that. So
yeah, I think things are getting closer and closer, and people don't have to go as far.
Yeah, the availability is so much more open now, which I'm very thankful for. And it's just great to see us going in the right direction with everything. So any other questions, ideas? Well, if nobody else has any other questions, I think we could wrap it up there. You always can send me your ideas or questions. We're all open here at Black Mountain Middle School. I really appreciate you all being here. This is our last coffee with the principal for the school year. I appreciate our parents and your support so much.
I have a question.
Yes.
Mr. Corso. About the 8th grade promotion, do you have any idea right now how it's going to look like this year for the 8th graders? Yeah, like I'm familiar with the past, how it used to be done, but with everything this year is different than other years.
Yes, Audrey, I'm sorry, did you join us a little late? Because I just thought to give
Yes, I'm sorry,
okay.
yes.
That's okay, Audrey, it's all right.
And I got somewhere and I could join, I'm
sorry.
No
worries, I'll give a quick summary, which will be good for all of us, because we talked about this earlier, but we're gonna have a virtual option and we're gonna have an on-campus option. Our on-campus option will be June 18th at 8:30 a.m. on our campus in our small field that's behind our 10 building, and we'll share out with families where that's going to be located. There'll be parking in the back of the school and also the front of the school. So we're going to open up parking this year to be a larger lot, because I know that promotion is very difficult to park during promotion activities. We got our friends over at Sunset Elementary School. They'll still have a school day at that time, and while we're doing promotion. Promotion will look a lot like a traditional promotion ceremony. We'll have our orchestra play. Our choir is going to sing the national anthem. We're going to have district representation here to recognize our class of 2021. And we will recognize each student being able to walk up onto a stage, receive their promotion certificate, and celebrate with their families. The guests will be limited. Only for people that are in the household of the guests, and there's going to be a limited number. We haven't been able to determine that number. As soon as we have that number, we're going to send out a survey asking families, do you want to do a virtual option or do you want to do an on-campus option? The virtual option will be a video and also a chance to come on campus on June 11th to take pictures with your family in our quad if you want to do so. Audrey, does that help you with some of the information?
No, yeah, sure. So the on-campus option is going to be starting 8:30. Usually, how long is it going to take? About
it usually takes about an hour.
1 hour, okay.
I think we're going to be within that time frame.
Okay, yeah, that answered my question. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Last chance for questions here.
Hi, good morning. It's
Hi, Laura.
Tan. Just really quickly, a friend mentioned that, or her daughter mentioned that the girls' bathroom has been out of soap and only been using hand sanitizer. And I just thought I'd mention that really quickly while we had you on and see if we can look into that.
We will look into that.
I don't know which bathroom, but just thought I'd mention it.
And so for future reference, if that ever happened, if a student just reports to the front office, we'll get it taken care of right away. Like that's something that we could do very easily. And we'll get on that today right now. And thank you, Laura, for bringing that up. It's important. Like we got to have the facilities ready for our kiddos, and we want to have clean facilities and have soap available for them. So
I'll let them know to just let the office know then. Thank you.
Or if they see me walking in the quad, they come up and tell me. Like if a kid ever has a question, if they see me, I'm the guy that they should ask because I'll be able to help out. So I'm always open to having a student discussion. That's why I do my job. I do it for our kiddos. And so we all, and any adult that wants to be helpful for our kids. So, all right. Well, thank you, everybody. It's so great to see you. And I hope you have a wonderful end to your school year. And again, we appreciate your support so very much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for having these.